everybody. Hello world. This is Shake Talk and Raw and Real. So let's do it. Let's get raw and real. Through all of this, I know that I have gone like this, right? My emotions, my energy, my clarity, my just all kinds of things, right? It's all been this absolute roller coaster ride for me. And it's interesting because I get text messages from people about they love watching the Shake Talks because they're always so positive. And that's where I am probably about 90% of my life, right? Is in a very positive space. But when I crash, right? Yesterday I had a meltdown, like a meltdown. And it's been, a couple of weeks since my last real meltdown. And so when I'm, I do, and I'm not the only one. But here's the thing, because I experience, the juicy and deliciousness of life and the love and the passion and the gratitude, and I feel it so deeply. When sadness hits or when pain or whatever, bad hits, I can feel that just as deeply. And I allow myself to, I really allow myself to feel both the good and the bad. So when I'm crashing, okay, so yesterday when I crashed, I went for a walk and I started, because I needed to breathe, because I had stopped breathing. Do you notice that's the first thing you do when you get, I don't know, I'm going to talk about me, I don't know what you do. I stop breathing. I start taking shallow breath, these little shallow breaths. That's not feeding me. That's not oxygenating me, right? That's just like little shallow breaths. So I went for a walk and I started, and I'm sobbing. And I went down back roads and stuff like that because I'm like, ugh, I don't want to run into anybody who sees me and goes are you okay? Because I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I wasn't fine and they really didn't want to know that I wasn't fine. But they'd feel obligated to ask me because you see a woman walking down the street and she's crying her eyes out. You're kind of, some people feel obligated to check in on them, right? Anyway, so I kind of walked in places where I hoped there wasn't going to be a lot of people. And I just sobbed and I just breathed. And that's okay. And it took me about, 20 minutes to breathe again. To finally, I stopped walking. Many times I stopped walking to blow my nose and to wipe my eyes. But to finally take a breath and go, you know what, Barbie Lee? This is what it is. So what are you going to do about it? What is mine to do here? And that's one of my favorite things when I'm in a meltdown mode or something. What is mine to do? What is mine to take on? What is mine to accept? What is my responsibility? What is mine to do here? And that's where I was yesterday. And it took me some time. And then today I wake up and I feel lighter. But then, the memory and the thoughts about the decisions that I have to make and what I have to do and such, they just keep coming back. And I have to keep reminding myself that, it's okay. And then I got to remember, and this is where all my practice and all my training and all the things that I've read and seen, they all come into play. Because one of my favorite lines from, I don't even remember what the movie was about really much, the Best Marigold Hotel or something like that. Anyway, I loved what they said. And they said, everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it is not the end. And that's just my reminder that the universe is in perfect alignment for me. I'm the one that struggles. I physically, in my humanness, struggle with the universe. And that's stupid because the universe is going to win. I don't know about you, but I kind of understand how powerful God, call it whatever you want, universe, spirit, potato. I don't care what you call it. Just call on it, right? So it's okay to feel like crap. It's okay to spiral. It's okay to feel good, and it's okay to be positive, but don't bullshit, right? Don't be out there and, I'm coaching somebody right now, and I see her Facebook posts, and she's all, this is great. And I say to her, I said, that is not real for you. Well, I'm trying to put myself out there in that more positive way. I said, but that's not real for you. People don't want fake positivity. They want you to be real. I was talking to a friend, and I was saying, I counted 5 really good friends. Now, I'm very blessed that I have 5 very good friends, but I want more friends, just so you know. I want people because these 5 friends don't always want to do stuff with me, so I need a whole bunch of friends that, might only want to do something with me once a month. So if I have 30 friends, then I have 30 days covered. Okay, just saying. So I was talking to my friend, and I was talking about this, and I was talking about like my friendships and my connections, and I said, I get it. I scare the crap out of people. Like, I really get it. And I trigger people, and I piss people off. There was many situations, but, recently there was one where I am just being me, and somebody said to me, you want to just relax a little bit? Like, nobody can be that happy all the time. And I said, it's not about being that happy all the time. It's just about, I have inner joy that I love to express. And that ticks people off because they think I'm fake. They think that I'm pushing it. Or, I had this one lady tell me after about a year of knowing me, she goes, so I've decided to, kind of get to know you a little bit better. But her face was like, and I was like, oh, gee, okay, right? Hello, good morning. I was like, okay, I'm excited to get to know you. And I'm kind of hesitant, right? Because of the way she said it. She goes, well, for about a year now, I've kind of been watching you, and I just expected you were going to implode one day, and then I'd have to pick up the pieces if I was friends with you. But now I realize that you totally can handle it when you implode or when you break down or whatever. And so now I'd like to be friends with you. And I had to laugh. And I said, well, thank you. I said, and feel free to follow me on social media. And I just walked away. So, and that's who she is, and that's okay, right? And then I have another lady who said to me that for a year or more at church, she hated me. She couldn't stand me. I pissed her off every time. She would even, sit on the other side of church, and if she knew I was doing something at the center, she wouldn't participate because I just pissed her off that much. And I'm like, okay. So she's telling me this, right? And she goes, and then I realized I was jealous of you because you really are happy. Even when things are shitty, you're happy. And I hated that because I wasn't happy. And she goes, and you really believe, you really don't care what other people think of you. Like, you love them. But she goes, I get that. But you really don't care what they think about you. I said, I really don't. I love everybody. But I've worked hard on who I am and what I know to be true for me. I don't need someone else to tell me who I am or what I should be doing, right? That's for people who have yet to discover how fabulous they are. I've already discovered that. And if you're in my world and you're in my inner world, you've probably discovered that too. And, oh, I got this thing. Ugh, sorry. I see myself in the thing. And I'm like, oh, my hair's sticking out. Because I'm raw and real, right? So if you stick around with me long enough, you will probably get the opportunity to see how fabulous you are as well. And that's just me. And I will be the first to tell you that I suck sometimes. That I don't get it right. I don't say the right things. I don't know how to be. But I can take a breath and I can get grounded in who I am and then come from that place. And that's all I can do. So I have one lady that I talk to all the time, and she's like, remember when we talked about blank? And I'm like, sure. And she's like, well, you said something, but I don't remember exactly what you said. And I said, okay, you'll have to tell me the situation again, and I can tell you what I would say now. Like, that's all I can do, because I can't remember even yesterday, because what happened yesterday afternoon and then transpired last evening, my brain has jumbled into a different story than probably what happened, because my ego wants me to be right. My ego wants me to be protected. My ego wants me to be safe. So I can't even trust what happened yesterday. Okay? This is why I journal a lot, so I don't have to keep trying to do the same lessons. You know what I mean? So anyway, so she says to me, she goes, okay, well, blah, 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 this all happened. I'm like, oh, well, here's my answer to that. And she's like, that's it. That's what you told me. I said, then it must be my truth. And she's like, I really appreciate that you can, do that. And I said, I don't know how to be any other way. Because my grandmother is a crazy old goat. Like, I loved her to pieces. But she used to get so angry when I lied. And it's not that I lied, like, made up extravagant lies. I'd come home late, because she was living with us for a while, and she'd be like, where have you been? And I'd be like, well, I was studying with Lori. And she'd look at me and she goes, I have 8 children, don't lie to me. Because I was at the park hanging out with the bad kids, right? And she knew, right? And she'd tell me in the morning, and then she'd never say anything that night. Her comment to me always was, don't lie to me, I've had 8 kids. And then the following morning or that afternoon or whatever, she'd say to me, Beverly, if you didn't tell lies, you wouldn't have to remember what you said. And that's all she'd say. She wouldn't reprimand me. She wouldn't tell on me. She wouldn't, rat me out to my mom. She just said, if you don't tell lies, like if you just always tell your truth, you never have to remember what you said. And that takes a weight off of me. Like it really does, because I don't have to remember what I said because I know how I feel. And I'll probably say the same thing again and again based on how I feel. And I know what makes me feel good, and I know what doesn't make me feel good. And that's why I don't care what people think of me. But I love you. I love you to the depths of your spiritual being. I sometimes don't like your humanness, but your spiritualness, I love all the freaking time. And this is my point. This is my raw and real, right? Is get your head out of your ass. My mother used to say this, and I never understood what it really meant. What do you mean, get your head out of your ass? Why would someone stick their ass? Me thinking literal. I know it's figurative. Here's what I said, and I just channeled my mother there for a second. If you want to be raw and real, and you want to have a life that is truly yours, that is truly 100%, insert your name here, then you get your head out of your head, like get out of your thinking and drop into your feeling, into your heart. The Buddha has this beautiful phrase, in your head there are no answers, and in your heart there are no questions. And that's the bottom line. That's how to be raw and real. Stop thinking, that's a wrong way to say. If you just let it mull around in your brain and you let it go, it's gonna go in whatever direction it's gonna go. So when you're thinking about it with your head, well, if I do this, 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 and this, and this, that's thinking with your head. What about thinking with your heart? What about going, and just letting it come? Because my head says one thing, and my heart says another thing. And they're not in agreement. So then I have to go to my other practices. And that's where knowing who you are, knowing, falling into your faith, into your understanding, into your comprehension, whatever that's where the juiciness of life comes from. That's where raw and real plays a magnificent role in your life. So just take a breath. Feed your body well. Think positive thoughts, but feel positive emotions. That's where that's where the play of gratitude comes from so deeply. And I know some days it's hard. It's hard. was talking to Taylor Ray yesterday, and she's riding her bike, and she's all grateful, and I'm like, I hate you. Like, I love her, and at the same time, I hate her, because she's stranded on this beautiful island in Indonesia, and she's riding a bike, and she's eating fresh fruit, and she's having this beautiful experience, and I hate her. No, I really love her, but I hate her. And when you're in a good space, gratitude is really easy. It is really easy. But when you're being raw and real, and you're coming from that place of pain or hurt, it's hard. Like, I have as soon as I wake up in the morning, so as soon as I look at my wall, there's a gratitude, right? The word gratitude. And so that reminds me to do my gratitudes, right? When I open my eyes, when I close my eyes. This morning I opened my eyes and I went, I'm not doing gratitudes, I'm not. And I fought with myself. And then I was like, fine, I'm grateful for my pillow. Thank you for my pillow. I'm grateful for this warm, fuzzy blanket that I have. I'm so grateful. Thank you for my warm, fuzzy blanket. And I couldn't help but feel better in a few minutes, because that's just the way it works. So when you're stuck in your head where there are no answers, and you need to drop into your heart, where there are no questions, right? There's just answers in your heart. And you drop into your heart, everything, trust me, everything looks better. And even if it isn't better, it's okay, because everything will be better in the end. And if it's not okay, it is not the end. That's the way it is. So go out, take a chance, be raw and real, enjoy life, have an amazing experience, cry. If you need to cry your freaking eyes out. You want to throw things, just make sure no one's in the line of fire. You want to punch things, go find a punching bag, find a pillow, whatever. You need to scream. You want to eat ice cream, eat a whole fucking tub of ice cream, go ahead. Okay? Stop beating yourself up because you're human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. I don't care what you believe. Okay? I don't even care if you're atheist and you believe there's a scientific piece about us. There's some science energy about us. So at least let that, if that energy wants to eat ice cream today, let it eat ice cream. And if you want to work your ass off because you're feeling motivated and disciplined to, win an Ice Body challenge or whatever, then go ahead. And don't let anyone tell you what else to do. Don't let anyone make you feel bad or let you feel bad about yourself. Right? One of my coaches says all the time, if they don't pay your bills, they shouldn't be living in your head. Meaning that if they say something to you, don't let it mull over in your head. So raw and real, folks. Live it. Laugh. Love. Cry. It doesn't matter. But that's raw and real. Enjoy the juicy and deliciousness of this life. Enjoy it. I don't even care if it sucks. Right now, I'm in lockdown. I can go to the grocery store. Yes, I can go for walks. But oh my God, I can only walk so much without having a real conversation with somebody. Just saying. So do your best. That's it. Be raw and real. Do your best. Have a great day.